What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jarod and Gabby. We are back with another episode of the Kicks and Shit Show. Gabby, we actually got to see each other in person for the first time since All-Star. All-Star was in February. It is August. I mean, I see you just about every day on some version of FaceTime or some kind of contraption. I see you like through digitally, but like actually see you physically. It was quite nice.
Oh, well, thank you. I enjoyed it as well. I was ready for you to ask me what's been going on in these streets, because that's normally your intro.
No doubt, no doubt.
Say, we've been going on in these streets, Jarod. I'm excited. It was so nice. I felt like a normal human, aside from the camouflage mask that I was rocking with my Kicks and Shit Show mask chain, courtesy of Don't Sit Home.
And I had on my K&S bracelet. Yeah.
Courtesy of
Gabby Rosendahl.
But no, it's nice to feel normal and to see your beautiful, sparkling face. You look on camera, Jarod, but it's not the same as IRL, you know?
Oh, IRL, dear God. No, well, that's hilarious. What I loved too was the little bracelet. It brought you back to if you were one of those kids who had went to friendship camp or whatever. I don't even know. I mean, I didn't go to any of these, but I have kids who went to those camps. Right, exactly. Kids who went to those camps came back with oh, we know how to make beads and do whatever, and it's all right. So Gabby, as a visitor of one of those camps, she learned how to do all that. She made some K&S merch, and we love the K&S merch. So thank you very much. Speaking of merch, we're wearing some Society Dropout tees today.
This is one of the only times that you'll see me go like this in an appropriate way.
Well, it's funny you say that, because every time we do something, you often do that. You're like,
sure. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but your girl tries hard to rock a different look, to rep small brands, because that's what we're about on K&S. We like to rep small streetwear brands, and don't get me wrong, we love the Nikes, the Jordans, the Adidas, the Pumas. Shouts to all you guys for doing great things. But what it's all about, especially now in COVID times, is small business. So
no doubt.
Society Dropout for sending us these dope shirts. Check them out. So soft and comfortable.
Very soft and comfortable.
You'll get me to go like this in person.
No, Society Dropout's cool, and we really enjoyed connecting with them, and who doesn't love free merch? But you guys, it's a lifestyle brand that's for anyone who can function within the mores of society, but prefers to kick back and connect with people who are like-minded, right? I mean, that's sort of the ethos of how K&S started, right? Sure, we've worked corporate still in some capacities and do different things, but we also just like to create, and we like to spend time with creatives, and that's how we started this show. And Society Dropout as a brand, that's what they sort of embody, right? Find people who are like you, like-minded, right? And spend time with them. And so thank you to Society Dropout for these dope tees. See, I'm rocking it. I hate I think so. I do hate the fact, though, that my headset cord is wrapping across my body like this, but whatever.
Sounds like a you problem, Jarod. I don't know.
It sounds like a what problem?
Sounds like a you problem.
Oh, it's definitely a me problem. So oh yes, in so many ways. No, one of the things that we've also been doing, besides our physically not socially distance, actually it's physically distance, because we were being social. We had some ideas, because we went to a particular brand store. Do we want to say what brand it was, or no?
I think we can, just because we were in Midtown and we were both rocking our Puma fits. I figured, why not? Let's check out the store. And Midtown is a weird place right now on quarantine. And for those who are in New York, you know what we're talking about. And for those who are not, it's basically like the 80s in New York. Can't park anywhere, even though there's nobody there. It's like the Wild West. Nothing really fully makes sense. So we wanted to check out and see what stores were doing during these crazy times. And, your girl and your guy here cannot go into any other brand store if we're rocking head to toe Puma.
Oh, no. We were we got our Puma fits on, so we're going to the Puma store. That's just how that goes.
But But I will say, I actually really enjoyed the shopping experience overall. I don't like being in crowds of people, and in Midtown Manhattan, there's often a lot of that. So it was great to be able to see the new merch, to use some of the interactive features that the flagship store has to offer, and just to see the different fits. I mean, like, neon is a vibe, bike shorts are a vibe. You guys already know how I feel about that. So I love seeing mannequins dressed in basically exactly what I was wearing in different colorways. So
you, by the way, are in fact a bike shorts and ankle weights influencer. It is not even like a thing where it's like, all right, like you're trying to be one. Like you actually are one, because when the photos of you are out, and if you don't have one of those pieces on, the comments are, yo, where is X? So let's say you have bike shorts on but no ankle weights. Where are your ankle weights? Or if you have ankle weights and you're wearing different kinds of shorts, where are your bike shorts? Like, and shout out, we're talking about Puma. Shout out to Laura, who's one of the PR folks at Burke Communications that does PR for Puma. She was recently in her Instagram story rocking some bike shorts and shouted you out for
Team bike shorts. No, it's true. And for the people that are wondering, because I know there's all two of you that are wondering why I don't always wear my ankle weights with my bike shorts. My ankle weights look like they are for function, not for fashion. This is before I knew that ankle weights were really a thing. They look like air casts, and they're also blue, which is my favorite color, but does not, it actually matches this shirt quite nicely. So maybe I'm going to put on some ankle weights after this and go for a nice little stroll. But they do not go with everything. So I got to find a more universal pair of ankle weights. I mean, these are 2.5 pounds each ankle. So I was going, like I said, for function over fashion. But, we talk about this a lot on the show. Why can't we have both?
Why can't we have both? And I will say, since you have been rocking the bike shorts and talking about it, just even like, not like, but if I walk by somewhere or I'm outside walking the dog or whatever, and women are walking by, I'm like, I'm noticing if they have bike shorts on or not. And I'm like, yo, a lot of women are wearing bike shorts. So you are correct in the fact that bike shorts are in fact a thing, and you are in fact a bike shorts and ankle weights influencer. I did remember the other day when I was walking the dog at night, so last walk of the night, and I was like, I think I texted you, Gabby, I'm out walking the dog, and this woman has ankle weights on. Like, it's like, I'm telling you, this is what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I took a nice socially distant weekend away last weekend to go up to Buffalo and Niagara Falls. I've never been to Niagara. It was nice to get away, feel like I was almost in a foreign country. I mean, I know it's right outside of Canada, but I had a friend who I went with, the girl who I did the road trip with, shout out to Jenna, brought her wrist weights, and I was like, have you ever tried putting them on your ankles? She put them on her ankles for one of our hikes, and she was like, it feels a little bit different. I'm like, it's a vibe. Maybe I'm going to put the ankle weights on my wrist because of you. Let's drop that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. That's fucking things. I'm here for it.
Oh, dear God. Moving along, one of the other things that we've been doing independently is watching the NBA bubble and what's been going on in the bubble. So we had an interesting chat yesterday because my guy, Devin Booker, the Phoenix Suns, first of all, of the 7-0 Phoenix Suns, have not lost a game since being in the bubble. But Book has been balling, and Book's always been a very good player, and excellent shooter. And I was like, Book, like he's that dude. And I always talk to people about, like, look, man, he's just languished out in Phoenix, like that awful franchise, and like there's a terrible team, but like he's a good player. But they're actually playing well. And of course, everyone, because the internet's about jokes, is like, yeah, Kendall, Kardashian curse. And then you dropped into the chat, you were like, is this a reverse Kardashian curse? Because he's playing well and he's with Kendall Jenner. But I made the point that Kendall's not in the bubble, though. So,
the Kardashian curse is real. But, like, you know what? Shouts to Kendall. You got good taste, girl. Okay, I see you out there in these streets. I respect it. But I think that it's going to be interesting, and I'm all about bubble. I'm like, bubble watch 24/7. Like, I am here for it. I think it is a microcosm for society right now in COVID times. Everything that's happening there is fascinating, and I think that we need to look at it as a social study in addition to a sports study. But I do think that, there's a lot of men in that bubble. There's a lot of lack of human contact in that bubble. So we all got needs. I mean, there and let y'all use your imagination, but I think that's going to start to take a toll eventually, and it's going to be interesting to see if that affects the play of games by each of the different players, like whether they have friends that are coming to visit, or it's wives, girlfriends, wags, the whole nine.
Whatever.
That could affect this bubble watch ecosystem and how these guys are playing. I mean, like, they're playing out of their mind right now. I think it's great to watch, but it's true. I mean, I hope that Drake is on like the no-fly list for the bubble, because we're doomed if he ends up going in there. I love Drake's music. Shouts to my people.
But why would Drake be going in there though? There's no fans allowed. Drake's just a fan.
Gets into everywhere he wants to go. I don't know. It's like he's a magical man. It's because he's one of the chosen. At least half, so that counts. It's the correct half. But I want to keep away anything that is going to disrupt this ecosystem right now. It's like when Tony Romo was dating Jessica Simpson, and fans were literally holding cutouts of her head in the crowd, like these big fat heads of Jessica Simpson, because when they were dating, it was like the curse of Jessica Simpson. And like, don't get me wrong, have a life, have relationships. That's what life's all about. It's more than just the game, but it does affect people's game. And I think it'll be interesting to see, knowing how the beautiful Kardashian-Jenner women have affected the men in their lives. I'm going to leave it at that because I'm a publicist at heart. Y'all know what I'm alluding to. It's going to be interesting to see if that alters any of the play in the bubble.
Well, look, I want to give these women like more credit and not be like, if a player plays bad, it's because of the women in their lives, right? Like, maybe it's just on the player. Like, dude,
it's not the lady's fault, but
right, get your game together, homie. Like, I will say this, however. So the thing that got everybody all up in arms recently was Kendall, as she's wont to do. She is in fact a fashion supermodel. Posted a picture on Instagram. I think it's either a makeup, different makeup she's wearing, and all she posted, I think, is a caption of a strawberry. And Devin Booker gets into the comments and says, "I like strawberries." And then Kendall responds with like, either 3 or 4, multiple strawberries in a row. And, the internet's a wild place. Everybody's wondering like about various things that this is, even though we do swear on this show from time to time, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole of discussing strawberries and what that might entail and all that.
I mean, I already know. I'm a vanilla ice cream cone with a little strawberry sauce on top, if you know what I'm saying. So I respect that emoji game. You get it, girl.
And folks, what a wonderful way to end this first segment. You get it, girl. Anyway, we're going to be back talking about some sneakers. Something interesting actually happened in the world of sneakers as it relates to the Nike Dior collaboration. And we'll have shoe and tell a little bit later. So we'll see you guys soon. Stay tuned. What's good, guys? Jarod and Gabby back. So, Gabby, something came across our purview over the past couple of days. There's an article about fake Dior Jordans that were seized in Texas. $3.6 million worth of this fake merchandise. So 1,800 pairs of the Jordan Dior ones, the coveted shoe that we didn't even attempt to try to get or even have the resources and connections to get plugged in to even get. So moving that to the side for now. Well, that's not really important. What's important here is that the U.S. Customs and Border Protection in Dallas, Fort Worth, they seized it. They seized about $3.6 million in fake Air Jordans, Diors. And I'm not flabbergasted by this because this is sort of just what happens. But the fact that there are people out there who create fake merchandise to prey on those who want to cop this stuff. I mean, it's sad because, again, we know how much this stuff is retailing for on StockX, right? Like, on StockX, $10,000 or what the Dior like Jordans are going for. We know their actual retail price was $2,000, but $10,000 on StockX. So imagine someone who decides, and again, you can argue about whether someone should be putting their money, whatever. Someone decides, all right, let's say it's $5,000. They find somebody and they get it. Like, what? You're literally hoodwinking somebody out of $5,000. And I just, look, I would never, because we talked about this. Those are just, we're not buying stuff like that. It's just not. But okay, if someone wants to, they should be able to go on the internet and go to a secondary source and feel like they can get what they want and not pay these ridiculous prices and get ripped off. Now, to be fair, they would not get ripped off on StockX, as we learned from Cypher and as we know from our own research. They have people that smell the glue and so they know if it's bullshit or if it's real. But I just thought this was like, wow.
I mean, it's wow, but I'm not that surprised. Like, were they on their way to Canal Street? Because if you go to Canal Street, you can buy some fake Yeezys, you can buy some fake Louis, you can have a full fake fit if that's your fancy. You know what I mean? It's sad to me that this is the culture that we're in. It was bound to happen eventually. It goes back into it with like all these scammers out there that just want to make a buck and don't really care. And that's, to me, what takes away from the culture and the community, right? Is already you have a pair that's $2,000 that most people can't compete. Like, right. Your girl's doing fine here. I'm above the poverty line, but I'm not about to spend $2,000 on that. Like, I'm getting some off-whites for 10 grand. And you know your girl's getting a custom Birkin at that price. Like, that's more of an investment to me. But it's sad how people are just out there to take advantage. And the resale culture, we've talked about this before, is astronomical right now. It is BANANAS. I watch the StockX market. I wake up every morning. I check the market to see how if things are trending up, trending down. You know what I mean? It's got the things that I watch. And who is paying $700 right now for wave runners? Like, everything is trending upward. And I don't fully understand it. Obviously, it's dictated by the sneaker government, as are most markets in this country. But the fact that we've resorted to coming up with fake sneakers too. I mean, fake sneakers aren't new. Yeah. Replicas are not new. I mean, shouts to eBay, who's going to be working on authentication like that. And that's where I usually used to sell my sneakers before the likes of StockX even existed. And I would buy, sell, trade. But fakes aren't new. It's the fact that we caught them before they had a chance to be out there in the world. To me, that's newer. So I respect that. Yeah, no,
I'm very happy that these were taken off the market. It's just, look, and I'm not some person. Look, I understand how this world works, right? Shouts to the capitalist machine, right? Like, everybody's out here trying to make a buck. Like, I understand that. Like, I'm not some like, oh, this is all. But the reality, it's just what bothers me is the taking advantage of people. That's the issue that I have, right? Like, you want to make a buck. Like, look, we talked about it. I don't love the StockX resale market and like how this stuff gets astronomical, but at least I know StockX authenticates it and whatever. I don't love the bots and like whatever, but okay, those people are buying actual authentic product and reselling it. I don't love that because, again, it's doing the same thing, taking advantage of people, right? But this, like with fake merch, like at least if you spend it, all right, it's real merch. For the fact that it is fake, that's the part that really bothers me, because that is like such a it's such a violation of, like, I don't even know, like, you still feel so violated, right? Like, you're just gonna out here swindle people with some fake stuff. I mean, and people need to be aware. P.T. Barnum, the one of the famous people behind the circus, as you know, one of the quotes he's attributed to him is, "There's a sucker born every minute," and people who think with that kind of mindset, you already know where they're coming from, right? They're out to rob people, right? Because if that is how you think, there's a sucker born every minute, that means that clearly I have some nefarious plan about how I'm going to get over on someone. And the idea of getting over on people, like, it just, in this context, like, I don't like it.
Well, I agree with you. I think, though, and as somebody who grew up, as you did as well, in New York, around New York, going to New York, I had my little Canal Street Louis with the cherry blossoms.
But you don't get overcharged for those.
No, I mean, it was not cheap. I'm still paying like $100. So like, you can still make a good Dame Dalla off of it, But I had to. I told you, I'm NBA on the brain all day, every day.
Dame has been literally on fire. Like scorching.
Straight up flames.
Yes. He is like the NBA Jam. Like Dame, his whole person is on fire. It's like, Jesus.
I know. And Melo, I'm here for, well, I was going to say, originally my favorite was Headband Melo because he's been playing great. Right. Like, he looks fit. He looks rested. I think having a little time off has really benefited his overall fitness level.
Right. But what
But
do you
I
like?
loved it on NBA on TNT when they called him Poppy Mello because he had these little like Bad Bunny kind of sunglasses and a rugby polo. I'm here for Poppy Mello. I'm not gonna lie. Do you think though that Poppy Mello's rocking some fake Dior's? He might be.
Nah, Poppy. I mean, let's be real. Melo's a Jordan Brand athlete, so he ain't getting no fake nothing.
No,
But
I'm just saying.
to your point though, Gabby, when you were a kid, a teenager, and you went and your friends went to Canal Street, you knew you were buying a fake product like that. So like you entered into that trend. So that's so if you decide that's what you want to do, and again, you didn't pay what it actually cost retail, so fine. But the fact that someone may try to sell this to you at what it costs or more, and it's fake, that's the part where I'm like, yo.
Well, no, that's kind of my point, right? And I know we went off on a little bit of a tangent
All
here
good.
because
Love the
NBA on
bubble.
the brain all day, every day, ball is life. Know what I'm saying? But
Who are you?
just think that if you want to rock fake kicks, and that's your prerogative because you like the look and you're about the style, and that's something that you're okay with. You want to rock some Folex, some Fucci, you know, if that's your bag, go ahead. Do you? I have a friend who got a pair of Yeezys on some weird secondary market. I think they might have come from China. And he was like, are these real? And I was like, absolutely not. Right. I was like, they cute, but they're not real. I could tell immediately because of the 350 was facing the other direction. And if someone like me can figure it out, it's fine. Right. But you know what? At the end of the day, he was like, they might be fake, but they're really comfortable. And I didn't spend $1 million on them. So I'm okay with that. So if that's something that you want to make peace with, you do you, boo. You know, and if you want fake Dior's, because the average person is not coming up to your feet and smelling them.
No.
And there's some really good fakes. There's some good fakes on Canal Street and in general with all the luxury brands that look identical, whether it's the liner that's a little different or a stitching that's a little different.
The glue.
To the naked eye, you can't necessarily tell. So if that's your bag, do you. But you know, here we are all about authenticity. So for me, I'm going to sit a little bit above the poverty line and just not have them. And because I'm used to taking L's. But it's just not my bag. But if that's what you want, I feel like my fake Dior's would look great with this outfit.
But like I said, if you are, to your point, and to agree with you, if you are entering into that and that is what you want to do, of course I have no problem with it. But if you are being hustled and told they're real, and you're paying that exorbitant price and they're not, that's where I'm like, yo, like, come on, homie. Like, that ain't cool. So by the way, so people, if you want real stuff, go to reputable secondary marketplaces. We don't, you know who they are. I don't want to have to shout them out on here, but go to a reputable place that authenticates it. We talked about how eBay is going through the authentication process right now. Don't be out here on some place being like, oh yeah, these are real too. No. If you're going to pay that money, go to a place that authenticates it for you.
And just to that point, know your retailers. I mean, I usually do my research. If I see other friends in the sneaker industry that follow someone on Instagram, don't assume that that's necessarily legit. I mean, you all know what happened with me with the chunky dunk. Never forget. Never forget. But you never know. And to me, like I said, I'm someone who's all about authenticity. I might be weird. I might like my own style. And like, do I give a fuck if you care about that? No, because that's me. I don't feel like I need to fit in by having fake Dior's. There's a lot of people that are out there. And I say to them, save your money. Don't buy the fake shit. Yeah. Save up and get a pair of something real that's really good. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be any cooler if you have fake Dior's. Well, I promise you.
Dior's ain't going to make you cool.
That's what older Gabby would tell younger Gabby.
And on that note, folks, we'll be back with your favorite segment, America's favorite segment, Shoe and Tell.
America. Fuck yeah.
Stay tuned. What's up, y'all? We are back to wrap the episode with, as I said, America's #1 segment, or America's favorite segment, probably both, Shoe and Tell. Number one. So, Gabby, ladies first, why don't you show some recent heat you got, like very recent?
So it's very recent, and I want to start off by saying that I am very much in the camp of treat yourself, especially if there's a special occasion, a new job, a promotion. These are not things that I have received recently, but it is my birthday, and I decided that I was going to make a play for the women's satin snake one. You know, I love ones. I love the Chicago colorway. I love a good satin, but I'm going to tell you what I did. I was able to get a hold of a pair through Foot Locker. So when they launched on the sneakers app, I was like, I'm going to stay in bed a little bit longer. I don't even need to open up my phone. I've never felt so relaxed. Like, it was like I could have been at a spa and got sneakers and I would have been like not as relaxed as I was on that day. So it was very nice having that experience. And I know a lot of you guys have trouble with the sneakers app, and maybe we'll have someone on in the coming weeks that can show some great tips and tricks on how to navigate the sneakers app, because before quarantine, that's where I used to take some wins. Like, I got my shattered backboard satin ones from there. I got a few other pieces of heat, like my Knicks 3s, the Concord 11s. I've had good luck. And then since quarantine, I mean, the internet is filled with the memes of all of us who are taking L's. I know I'm not alone in that sense. So shouts to Foot Inc. with Foot Locker and Champs Women's. That's where I've been having my luck with sneakers lately, guys. And I don't know, the tides are changing for your girl here on where I'm going to be shopping. So
no doubt.
Like I said, I shop everywhere, but these ones were from Foot Locker, and
Ooh, look at those joints are fire.
Hey, Bill. How you doing? You cute. You come here often? I knew I was going to like this sneaker already.
Yeah.
I show some of the satin detail on the tongue, the snake on the back.
I love that snake print.
Because it comes with 3 different lace options, which your girl loves
the
options.
lace. So you can get. Would you do one shoe with one color lace, the one shoe with another color lace?
I'm a little OCD for that, but I think what could be kind of cool is if I do like a red and white, or double lace it with a black and white, could be kind of fire.
Yeah, I like that. Could you double lace it?
I know. I mean, the top 3 ones when they came out, I love them, but I'm like, they look like I'm wearing 2 different shoes. I can't do it. It's like my OCD is fighting against me. But I loved the satin, the black toe ones. The black toe ones are one of my favorite pair of ones that I have in general. Didn't get my hands on those last year, so I was really hoping that I was able to come out with a W, and I did. And you know what? Honestly, it's worth it. I give a shout to Jordan Brands for making these a true women's launch, where I believe the highest size that they went up to in men's was a 10.5. Yep. So you lucky guys at a 10.5 were able to get a pair. But I've had a few people reach out to me asking about larger sizes, and they're saying the resale is pretty high. And I said, that's because those were either seeded pairs or special pairs instead of it being a general release. So shouts to Jordan Brand for looking out for the ladies on this one. Next step is letting us have a shot at getting them on sneakers app too. But I'll take it. A win is a win, so I'm not complaining. I'm very happy about these, and I mean, you can tell I haven't even laced them up yet because I'm too scared, but I love them. I think they're beautiful. I'm probably going to wear them on my actual birthday. And yeah, I mean, these, I've been talking about these for weeks anyway. These were kind of a must cop for me. I love ones. I love the silhouette. The fact that I was actually able to get them in my size. I don't know if I've told you, but for some reason with ones, I normally get them in the 6.5. That's how I know about the trick that we talked about last week with Trey about taking out the insoles, because your girl always has to take out the insoles, or I just suffer a little bit because beauty is pain. So I was very happy to actually get these in my true size, a men's 7, women's 8.5. For those of you, it is still my birthday month.
Shouts to Leo season.
And Virgo season. I'm on the cusp.
Are you cusp?
Colby share a birthday. Yeah,
right,
I'm a cusp.
You're a cusp.
I'm technically a Virgo. I know this loud voice screams Leo, but the OCD is Virgo season. Kobe was the Black Mamba, R.I.P., nothing but respect. I am the Jewish Mamba. I'm going to say it. Jewish Mamba, I'm out here in these streets.
In these gefilte fish and lock streets, no doubt. No.
The best kind of streets. Kind of gefilte fish. Shouts to Chris Tucker.
Oh my God, I can't. All right, so not a whole. I'm sorry.
What do you think of these though? Would you rock these? Like, are these something that?
If
that's better for the men as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good unisex shoe. Like if I mean 10.5 is too small for me, but but my point about that though, I don't like to get the shoes that are for on women's launches because I don't think it's right. Like they were made for the ladies. So I would rock it if it was like, all right, we have it open and whatever. There's a lot of sizes. Because it looks great and the colorways I think are wonderful. I love the satin. I love the snake print on the back. It's a great look. I think you can You get a pair of black jeans. You could, I mean, you got, I mean, a lot of, yeah, you could do some stuff with that. I'm in. Those are definitely
Bike
dope.
shorts.
Bike shorts. Yes, from the bike short influence. Those are a cop for me. Look at that. We are merging shoe and tell and copper drop. So if I want those would be a cop for me. So well done. Well done by you. Okay, so for my shoe and tell, you know, it's interesting. This shoe, I just kind of saw it and I don't know why. I just liked it. It doesn't, nothing special about it in terms of like, you know, fancy print and whatever, but it's got it's got a look to it. And this is the Nike Mid Blazer 77 Vintage, right? It has an old school look to it. And I think that's why I like it so much. Now, mind you, look at, they say Nike Mid, right? Like, this does not look like a mid to me, right? I mean, this looks like a high, right? Like, totally. But anyway, really like these. I love the faded Nike on the back, right? It's like, it's just like, it's not fully like stamped embossed on there. It's like, it's got a little fade on it, right? Like, and the midsole looks like a vintage shoe, right? Because it's got a little of that canvas kind of look to it when you check out the midsole. And I just thought it was a nice shoe, and it's still available. And I don't know if this blue swoosh colorway is still available, but I think red, black, another couple colors might be available. But they're on the Nike app, and they're not terribly expensive. They're under $100.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you guys, you can get heat for under 100.
That's what I'm saying. You can get heat for under 100. I know for you, the shoe's too white for your liking. So I get that. You're like, no, that's your OCD and listen, I'm with you on that. And you know me, I generally in the summertime, I like lows in the summer. But it's such a clean looking shoe. I could do that in the summertime. I can. And yeah.
I respect the blazer, and I mean that blue is my favorite color. I could rock that even with like a pair of white jeans and the shirt that I'm wearing from Society Dropout. You know, the color is fire. I like that you went with the blue. You are correct. Usually it's very white for me, and I just am worried about getting it dirty. Yes. I do like the thicker sole as well. It's got that nod to the retro, and I don't know if that was in part to the original Blazers or if that's Nike's merger with Converse, where they're taking some of those, like a little bit of more of a crossover silhouette. I think they're fresh. I think they're nice. I would love to know the outfit that you plan to wear those with, because, you know, it's not rabbit leather, but I do love a Jarod fit because I like the way that you style things, because I dress more like a 16-year-old boy. I mean, sometimes I wear a dress and J's, but
no doubt.
You know, I'm a little bit more athleisure in my style, but I love the way that you mix sneakers with pieces that maybe, you know, aren't as expected. You know, maybe if it's like a chino short that some people would wear a boat shoe or a Sanuk or a loafer. I like that you're going to go blazer with it because it gives it like a little bit of swag.
So stay tuned, because I will put an outfit out. And actually, I think I'd love it with this shirt because of the orange and the blue. I like that. That combo. It actually has a Florida Gator kind of, you know, like, you know,
or Knicks.
Or Knicks, yes, if you're a Knicks fan, of course. But I, you know, just giving love to other orange and blue combos out there.
No, there's only one.
and I would do it in the summertime. Again, it's all about the lows in the summer because ain't nobody trying to sweat to death. But I would definitely do these. So yeah, that's my little piece of shoe and tell. And again, folks, you can find heat for under $100. It's out there. Like, you don't have to spend a gajillion dollars on sneakers. I mean, look, if you want to look fly and do that. But, and if you're worried about the white, don't worry. Get yourself some Jason Mark spray, repellent spray to protect it. These have already been treated, by the way. I've already sprayed them twice, and they've dried. So I feel comfortable now going outside. And always have your Jason Mark wipes in your backpack or in your back pocket. Take them out, wipe them off. You're good to go.
And if you can't get your hands on Jason Mark, we don't discriminate here.
Oh, yes. Crep Protect.
I've been rocking a lot of Crep Protect lately because the Jason Mark ones in store have been sold out. So I'm rocking my Crep. Works just as well. The perforated side is really great. So I wore at the socially distant baseball game that I rocked some bike shorts to over the weekend. I rocked my Adidas Superstars, which are my favorite under 100 pair that are just classic. I know that makes me look like half the girls in this area, and IDGAF. I love them. The shell toe, like, just call me Run DMG. I can rock those all day. And we know Kenny Anderson, our friend, is a big fan of
Yes,
Adidas
he
Superstars
is.
with that shell toe as
He
well.
is.
It's a nod to old school New York. But I didn't even touch anything. I'm like tiptoeing around like a prima ballerina, and I still had to scrub them down afterwards. So the
Always.
perforated side really does get in there, and it doesn't scratch the leather. So it's
Yep.
a nice way. And shouts to Chad Sneaker Galactus, who we had on a few episodes ago. I made sure to clean them off before I put them back in the box, because that's what's going to keep them looking fresher longer.
See that? Listen, we out here trying to give you guys knowledge, how you keep your kicks clean, keep them looking fresh, because you spend money on them. You don't want them just to last for like a little bit. You want to keep them for as long as you possibly can. So make sure you guys are protecting your kicks out there. And folks, that is another episode of the Kicks and Shit Show. You guys know where to find us, as always. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher. We're everywhere. And of course, we are on Instagram and Twitter at Kicks and Shit Show. And of course, we have our personal handles that are, right down there. You can see us. Exactly. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.